Hello, everyone. I'm Angel, and you may notice that this is very different from the normal time lapse videos that I normally put up. The main difference, probably, that I'm talking over it instead of you just watching and listening to music. Uh, this is just a little talky video, or I don't know, talky video. Uh, and I was actually convinced by someone else, a friend of mine, to start doing these. She believes I'm charismatic enough, and I just like helping people. I just like being of help and being useful and seeing other people kind of get ahead and learn things that they're trying to learn. And I had some things that I wanted to say, and sometimes typing, messages to people, or it's hard to explain things that way. But so I wanted to just start these things off with uh, talking about being ready, as you may have seen from the title. But what do I mean by being ready? It's more about being ready to tackle a project or to, do a job. And, I've been seeing this a lot lately with friends and other people that I've been speaking to online. They talk about how they want to do this project, or they're doing a job. They just got a job, and they're in their industry. This is what they've been wanting to do forever, and now they're not thinking they're ready anymore. And it's you know it's a common problem. A lot of people end up running into this every now and then. Even me, and I'm sure artists who have been doing this for many many years still run into this problem sometimes. But really, when it comes to being ready, and you think that you're not, the more than likely you are ready. You're ready to do whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether it be you're working on you know an assignment for your new industry job, or you're just gonna make a project for yourself, a big project. I mean, not like just doing a little doodle or anything. So I mean, like, for example, it's like maybe somebody wants to make a video game, but they don't think they're ready. Even though they've been doing research and they've got these programs and packages that will allow them to start making games, and they have an idea already in mind, but they just don't think they're ready somehow. But when will they be ready then? You know? And the point is, they are ready. They just have to sit down and start doing the work, really. It's all just in their head. And so, for example, uh, you know, a time that I felt like this was my first job out in California. I was in a studio, and it was my first time. I just graduated recently, and I was surrounded by people who had been doing this far longer than I have. And I was just a 3D modeler. I wasn't really doing any animation yet. Um, and my work was going off to a texture artist, which meant that my models had to be good enough for him to unwrap and start texturing. And one day I went over to his table while he was working just to see how he was working on, and he happened to be working on, I think it was a sofa or something that I just modeled. And I asked him, "How has my work been?" I finally decided to find out if I was actually able to keep up with these guys. And he said, "Oh yeah, they're pretty good. It's fine." And that's sort of the confirmation that you need, that that you're ready. You don't need to worry about you know has my training been leading up to this moment, or am I just fooling myself? Normally, yeah, you're ready. You've been doing this for a while when it comes to learning, so it stands to reason that when it comes to actually doing it for the project, you'll be fine. You'll be perfectly fine. Yeah, and it's not always just going to be about uh, doing something for a big job that you don't want to fail at or anything. It could be something as simple as making a comic book for yourself. Not really for yourself, but wanting to create a whole comic book series or web comic series, or wanting to make a really big short animation that's really showing off what you can do. If you feel like you're not ready, then you don't have to feel that way anymore. It's more about feeling confident in your skills and just sitting down and getting the work done. It doesn't matter if it's going to be perfect the very first time, because more than likely if it's your first time working on a project like this, whether it be a comic book or an animation, it's going to not be perfect actually. It's going to be pretty far from it more than likely if you've never done it before. But that's just the beginning. That first thing that you do isn't going to define what you are in the future. It's really going to be where you began. You know, as an artist, we look back at our work all the time and we find that we've really grown. Our skills now are nothing compared to what they used to be. Even me, I like to look back at my work on my DeviantArt, and it's really terrible. It's not that great, and I love the way I do my work now. It's I tend to started doing a whole lot of more adorable artwork and just cute things, which is good for me. I like it. It's simple and fun, and a lot of people get a kick out of it. Um, so yeah, your first thing is never going to be perfect. I mean, even me with this YouTube channel, when I first started, it was it was a task because I was going through that same process where I didn't think I was ready to actually do this yet. Um, I knew I wanted to have a channel art, and I needed a good icon, and all of my videos needed to have something about them, and I just didn't know what to do until I finally decided to just start working. I already prepared and prepared and prepared, and I didn't have anything on my YouTube channel because I didn't do anything. I kept preparing and preparing, thinking I wasn't ready just yet. So I decided to stop worrying and just start uploading stuff. And so far, I've got a couple videos up, and those tutorials, even the 3D tutorials that I have up here, they're not all that amazing. I mean, they get the point across. They get the information that the person who asked me to do them for uh, asked me to do. And that was really the important part. It wasn't about making it pretty. It was really about, showing him what he needed to know, and giving him the information that he needed. And there was more I could do. I mean, the audio isn't that great, but I don't really have that great of a, a microphone here. It's just a headset, and now I'm not even using the headset because I think this is working a little bit better. I'm still testing things out. I don't have a really good screen capture device on my tower, and I don't really have the money to go out and buy a really fancy thing or a really, really fancy microphone yet. So I have to make do with what I've got, and what I've got is, you know, Photoshop and good illustration skills and knowledge and the want to help people. So yeah, I mean, this first video, even now I'm stumbling over my words. I don't really know exactly what I'm trying to say. I know what I want to tell you guys, and I'm hoping that this is going to be helpful to you. But it's far from perfect. It's not like I wrote everything down and I'm reading from a script or anything. I just wanted to get on the camera or get on the microphone or whatever and start talking and get this information out. Start talking to you guys and hopefully, help you out if you need it. So the point that I'm trying to make is no matter what project you're trying to do, just start working on it. Because the only thing that's going to get in your way is you. And even if somebody doesn't like your work when it's finally finished, there's going to be plenty of people who are going to absolutely love it. You already have a lot of fans, I'm sure. And all you have to do is just keep working. I mean, you could be somebody who plans and plans and plans, and finally, after 4 or 5 years, starts working on their very first comic book. Or you could be the person who's been making comic books for 4 or 5 years, and the very first one wasn't all that amazing looking, but it was really funny and interesting. A lot of people liked it. But then after the 5 years, your books are still really funny and interesting, but now they look really amazing, and you really know what you're trying to do because you've been doing this for years. You've built up a whole bunch of experience doing what you're trying to do. And that's really all it is. It's confidence in the skills that you have and knowing that, you're going to get better and better, no matter how amazing you are already, or or if you still have a few things to learn. Anyway, I think I'm just gonna be done talking now. I've gotten the point across. I think, just keep yourself confident. Always know that you're good at what you're doing, and if you don't think you're good, just keep working because you're only going to get better, and then you'll finally be able to prove to yourself that you're good, whereas everybody else who thinks you're good has already known it all along. And any projects that you happen to have that you really, really want to start working on, just start working on it. It doesn't matter if you think you're not ready yet. You know, uh, don't let your insecurities and the belief that you have a lack of skill stop you from creating something really cool that everybody's going to enjoy. And just remember that, many years from now, you're going to look back at that project and say, I can do way better now. Just like now, you can probably look back at work that you've done, years ago and think, this is terrible. I can do way better than I am now. Or could back then. Wait. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, okay, I'm going to stop talking. Um, this drawing is coming to an end anyway. It's my little AICA. She's got quite a story behind her. I might talk about her sometime if you want to know about her. But she's the adorable one. Everybody loves her. Nobody can resist the cuteness of the little AICA here. I'm out of here, guys. If you liked what you saw, let me know in the comments, and if you have any ideas for anything else I can do, I suppose just let me know. Um, Keep an eye out for more illustration time lapses. I know I haven't been doing them, but I've been busy, didn't have the time to actually work on everything. But that's a completely different discussion than having the confidence to work on more work. But that's that. I hope this helped, and yeah, take care and keep working.